Just a Job is the podcast for the modern woman to redefine what success looks like. We highlight real women and their real stories. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Just a Job with Ellen and Sarah. We are back with another one-on-one episode, our second one. La la la. Today on our agenda, we're gonna keep throwing out some funny corporate slang because it's just funny and entertaining. On today's agenda, we are talking all about goal setting for the year. So this episode will come out on Christmas. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everybody.
Listen
Look
to
how
this
festive we are.
Yeah. Pink is the new green and red. You can listen to this podcast when you need to get away from your family.
Yeah, you need a quick 30, 40-minute walk outside. Take us along with you. We'll guide you through some de-escalating quiet time, if you will. So today we're going to talk all about setting goals for the next year. Sarah and I thought it would be fun to kind of talk about our accomplishments from the past year, making vision boards, and then we both kind of did a little poke around the internet to find some interesting ways to set goals for the year, and different strategies that you can try. So we hope that you can take some takeaways. Oh, that's great, Ellen.
I'll have you know it's very early where you are. So you are all
it's
good.
Early. Look at Mr. Briggs. We have a special guest.
He's like, you don't need to have goals. You have me.
Briggs, tell us, what are your goals for the year? To play more, to bork more, chase some more squirrels. He loves squirrels, doesn't he?
He does. Wait,
Mr. Briggs.
Give him what the people want. Briggs, can you speak?
Oh, talk to us, Briggs. Give him the microphone. Come on.
We're shy.
Okay, we're
Briggs,
shy.
Speak. Briggs, speak. Come on, speak.
Look at his face. He's so not amused by you.
He was really not about that.
Oh my God. You tried. It's okay.
I tried.
So we'll talk about just fun ways that you can maybe set some personal goals, professional goals. I know it's always like this time of year, it's like everyone's trying to shove it down your throat, but I think finding something that is quick, easy, and manageable for you to be able to actually implement for the year is huge. And I'm someone that needs something quick and easy to be able to go to and focus on. So hopefully these aren't too crazy. One of them's a little long, but I don't know. We're giving some variety in your choices. So
yeah. And I think it's important to note, Ellen and I are not official goal setters.
No.
By any means. So this activity that we're doing is one that we're all doing together. So this is fun. We're learning.
We're learning.
Thanks for your patience.
Last year was the first year that I actually legitimately wrote out goals for myself. On New Year's Day, we went to the beach and I was like, I just want a nice, quiet, in nature. Of course, it was not nice out. It wasn't San Diego nice out, but though I remember I got cozy sweats on, went to the beach and just sat, and I didn't even write it. I should have wrote them handwritten. I feel that would have been more meaningful, but literally on my notes app, put a ton of stuff on there. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to do this, but this sounds good, or this sounds like an interesting idea. And I try and throughout the year, as I remember things that I've done, I'll try and go back and check it off, because I put at least the little, in the notes app, the little check that you can do.
Love that feeling.
It's right, the satisfaction of checking something off. So that was that's as dedicated as I am to setting goals, is a little notes app in my phone. So again, different strategies, different strokes for different folks. So Sarah, talk to me about your vision board from last year, some things that you're really proud of yourself for accomplishing. We were talking earlier about how it's so easy to be what's
this
next?
vision board?
Yes, show us. Dun, 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 dun. Talk about the great things that you did this year. We want to hear. Share with the class.
So I, similar to you, I tried to make it an experience. So, social media, it's a blessing and a curse. blessing in the fact that I was like, you know what, I should just at least try this. I should try a vision board. Other people are doing it. I might as well try it. Curse is in like, I don't want to compare myself to what other people want on their vision board. So Michael was away for the weekend, and I remember like probably spending more hours than I should have on making this, because I was like, well, I could add this, but that's not really like specific, or I could add that, but I could do that tomorrow. It's not like big things. So I separated my board into kind of like long-term goals that I could at least like work towards or start to think of or spend energy on, and then more of like short-term goals. So like the left side of or the right side of my board are long-term goals. So and these are things that will probably continue on to my next board. There's a vacation home in Joshua Tree. I want a vacation home in Joshua Tree. An electric car. Somebody flying first class with a glass of champagne.
That's just awesome.
I just want that. Couple of vacations. It's so funny because I was looking at this one specifically, which I think that we've had on a vision board.
We put that on our Pinterest board for branding. Yeah.
It's Shay Mitchell with a microphone. And I'm like, what do I have in front of me? Lo and behold, a microphone. So not exactly the same thing, because she's speaking at Create and Cultivate, which like maybe that's what's going to happen next year, 2025. I don't know.
Let's speak that into existence. That would be so much fun.
Manifesting. There's a couple of work-related items. I thought I was going to become a runner this year, and I went on like 4 runs. I did pick up reading, not like intensely, but I have read at least a book a month, which was like a really big thing.
That's
for
good.
Me. And I feel like those are the big things. Oh, a bike. And I got a bike this year for my birthday. Rock climbing. I tried rock climbing. So there's just a lot of things. And this sat in my office, which I didn't look at it. I didn't say like, I'm going to become these things. But in meetings, when I would get bored or sidetracked or whatever it was, I would just look at it. And I think there's some part of me that was always paying attention to it, whether I was actually paying attention to it or not, because I was just looking at it and I was like, oh, there are actually a lot of things on here that I did, not necessarily with pure intention so that I could like say I did it, but I'm like, oh, I actually did these things. So it was a very helpful practice.
And just visually having it next to you to just glance at pretty much all the time, or maybe during a time in work when you're maybe feeling like more motivated or more creative, you can look at that and just have that as a visual reminder, as like, this is why I'm doing this, or this is what I'm working towards next. So
like
that's a goal for me, is to actually make a vision board.
You should do it. Like and it's also too, there's some parts of like having something physically made with your hands that makes it feel like you've did it, and it's tangible. I can touch it. I can look at it. So it's literally on though. It's so funny. I couldn't find. Apparently, everybody was making vision boards because there were no poster boards at Target that I went to.
That's funny.
So it is on the back of like a Scotch mailer.
Shut up.
Like this is a mailer.
So is it like is it bubble wrap on the inside? I can hear crinkles.
ASMR.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Hey, you know what? You may do. Like,
I made
it's very creative of you, Sarah.
Resourceful. Okay, so 2023 is coming to an end. Ellen, looking ahead 2024, what's on your not physical, tangible board, but things that are populating in your head? What's on that list?
So I'm laughing because before this episode, we were kind of like strategizing things we wanted to talk about. And I was like, oh, vision board. I wrote out my vision board. Like, I literally need to make it. It is in a paragraph, again, in my notes. Like, creature of habit, I need to make a change. Spend some time with my printer. Did you just see that? What's that? I don't know how I turned those on for myself, but
she's so magic.
And let's see if the balloons come up. This happened last time. This is so weird. I really don't know how I did that. Maybe a strange setting I need to go go look at. Oh my God. But okay, cue the balloons again with my goals for the year. I put create and cultivate on there as number 1. Like speaking, maybe not necessarily at that conference, but like at some sort of event, like whether it's like a career fair or even just starting small, like something where we can share the goodness of the podcast somewhere and with a group of people. I think that would be so meaningful. And the picture that you have of Shay is just like, that's it. That's what I picture in my mind. Like sitting in a cute chair, having a really cute outfit on, microphone in my hand, and just sharing all the goodness with a group of people, hopefully women, but we're not going to leave the men out either. I also put walking pad. And I'm envisioning myself like, you know, in the movie Bride Wars when Kate Hudson is marching away on her treadmill and she's working. That's what I'm picturing, but me at my new job. Like I'm going to be at a new job somewhere, really enjoying it, marching away like Kate Hudson on my little walking pad. I put
you
the
do
beach
look like
on
Kate
there.
Hudson, so you have that part down.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. That's going to go to my head. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to walk around like Kate Hudson all day today. Tim's going to come home and be like, are you okay?
You're like,
no.
You're like in the yellow dress from
I have a yellow dress. Should I put it on? No, we don't need any more complexes going up here. That's good. Thank you. That's a very nice compliment. I put going to the beach more. I feel like I go to the beach a lot, but I'm like, if we don't stay in San Diego for forever, like I don't want to look back and be like, damn it, I should have gone and appreciated the beach more and like appreciated what I had. So just be more mindful of even like just, I don't know, going for lunch or going for a walk. I mean, it's so close. So I want to take advantage of that more. I put my little ball bands on here. I love doing a little at-home workout or ball bands plus walking pad. There's 2 goals in one. I got this little personal finance dashboard that has been so much fun. It's just like super organized and super color coordinated, and being able to like know exactly where all of our money is at one time and be able to meaningfully track it regularly has been really nice. I want to continue doing that.
Any shameless plugs for where you got it?
Yes. I got it from this girl from Instagram. Actually, Sarah, you might have
Break Your Budget, Michaela?
Break Your Budget. Yes. She had that, and she also had a resume template that I've used that I've really, really liked. So highly, highly recommend looking at some of the templates that she has, especially the personal finance dashboard. It's so fun. I also just like love looking at dashboards and like progress and tracking to goals, all that fun stuff. So being able to put everything in and then like look at breakdowns of like where your money's at, how you're doing, how close you are to your goal, etc. It's really interesting. I put a couple of vacations on there. I had to put some vacations on hold, unfortunately, once I decided I was couldn't leave my last job. So I put England on there to go visit my sister, some sort of tropical vacation. And then I want to do like a wintry wonderland, like whether I go skiing or not, but like somewhere fun and snowy. Like how sad that I'm missing the snow now. Oh my God.
Yeah. Please God, no skiing. That's as if I'm invited, but like, please, no
I want
skiing.
to go tubing. Like that is so fun. All right, I might change my image from skiing to tubing instead.
Just because of me. Thank you.
Yeah. I put a no sign, which I think is kind of funny, but like I'm picturing literally like a circle with a cross through it. And I feel like what that will represent is like not engaging in activities, people, experiences that just like aren't fulfilling to me or make me happy or drain me in any way. I want to be really mindful of like how I approach things and being really present with how it makes me feel like before, during, and after things or people or again, events. So I put a no on there because I've said this before, but like I'm such a people pleaser too. And I feel like I have a really hard time saying no, and it's okay to say no sometimes. So I want to be more mindful of that too.
Good one.
You're going to laugh at this. I want another dog so bad. And I either want a little wiener dog or a Cocker Spaniel. Like I am on Cocker Spaniel and wiener dog TikTok, and I want one so bad.
What would you name it?
Oh, we're going to get a little girl and we're going to name her Barley. So we'll have Barley and Brewer. Won't that be so cute?
Oh, yes. You've had this planned, I feel like, since you got Brewer.
Pretty much. Yeah. And it's time. Yeah. Brewer is 5, I think. Like, it's time.
It's time.
We also don't have like, it's very dog friendly around here, and like to take him out to go to the bathroom is very easy, but we don't have like a legitimate backyard. We have a little patio out back, but that could be a little, maybe a wrench in the plans, but I'm not letting that stop me. I will.
Still doable.
I know. I say that, and then I'm like, Brewer stresses me out so much anyway. So I'm like,
that's what
do I do? What do I do? I put whole person, and then in parentheses, I put, this is so funny, wellness body reset to be the best physical health I can be at the end of the year. And I do eventually want to have a family. Tim and I want to have kids at some point. I don't necessarily see that really, really soon, but knowing that's in the future, I really want to be mindful of like being in the best physical health and mental health that I can be before that becomes more of a reality. I think that's really important. So I have that on there. And then the last one I have is our Spotify cover art. And I just want, like, I was very intentional to not like, the number like of followers is not important to me, and the number of listens isn't. It's fun to see, but it's not as important. Like, I want to be able to have like a made it moment where like someone I don't know reaches out, either like physically in person or over some sort of social media platform. It's like, this made a difference to me, or I really like what you said here, or we make an impact to someone that we don't immediately know, and the podcast reaches people outside of like our little network. I think that will be like a really, really cool made it moment for me. So that's kind of where my written vision board ended. Oh my God, I feel like I talked for forever. Sorry, but
no,
I don't know.
Next one-on-one, you'll have you're structuring it. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, I'm outlining it,
creating a rough draft.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like there's a salary component of like the next job I go to. I have like a target in my mind, but I also like in my little personal finance dashboard, I'm trying to like do a certain amount of money to be saved in the next year. And then based off of that, where the buckets of savings go, I then want to like back into like based on my goal. This is like on our savings goal. This is how much money I will need to make in order to fulfill that goal. But then on top of that, want to make. So I want to have like a very, almost like KPI driven, which is really lame, but like a very strategic number into like what I want to target, you know, instead of just kind of throwing something out that sounds nice. Like I want to be very strategic with how I target something.
Well, yeah, and I feel like that's half the battle with creating goals, is that you could be somewhat arbitrary, or it can be like, I'm just pulling this from the sky. So especially when it comes to especially when it comes to figures, it's like,
right,
okay, but we're going to talk about it, but like SMART goals, is this something that's like obtainable, and what's the time bound element of it? And I feel like finances are tricky with financial goals, personal financial goals. I think that that's a good place to use SMART goals, because a lot of times you're just like throwing things out in the air, and I struggle with this too. I'm like, okay, but why do we want to say that amount? Like, what is that amount even going towards? Or is it like finances are just one of those like funky places where I like to be super specific, because I'm like, well, this is my time. Basically, this is my time in tangible form.
Which now it's not tangible. It's literally just a number on a screen, which don't talk to me about, because I will spiral. I just like think that is just so bizarre.
That's so funny.
So yeah, financial goals are definitely a big part of 2024 too. But honestly, all of yours are so great, because they're like such a good balance of personal and professional goals.
Yeah, I try to get a good balance in there. You know, just I can't do it all. There's no way. I mean, when I say do it all, I mean like not goal related. Like I could do all of these goals, and I wanted to be mindful of like what I did include was somewhat attainable, whether it's a year-long process or a month-long process. But I wanted to be specific that I'm not all podcast focused, or I'm not all health focused. I gotta get the balance in there, you know?
Yeah, like one in each facet of your life.
Right. Sarah, what does 2024 look like for you? What you doing? What you focused on?
I was telling Ellen before this y'all know that life's a little crazy right now, so I've been kind of late getting to this. I'm like walking the dog quite literally this morning. So I, similar to how I made my vision board last year, I think it's helpful to have like somewhat long-term meaning things that I won't accomplish this year, but things that I could at least think about or start working towards. So I have like short-term, long-term. Short-term's typically more. This was a goal of mine 2 years ago, and I was pretty good at it, honestly. I put a shopping bag, and the shopping bag to me represents shopping local and small business. And a big part of that is not purchasing new clothing. I can tell you, if you've never moved, which I'm sure all of you have, it is the most disgusting thing to go through your closet and purge your closet. And I had a shirt in my closet, and you know how the tags on the little sides, which you usually cut out, they show you the year or the season, year and season that it was in style. I had a shirt in my closet from 2011.
Resourceful queen.
I can't tell you the last time I wore that shirt, but for some reason in my little mind, I was like, I'm going to pull this out one day. I will wear this shirt.
It's a good throwback.
I never did. So that's a big one, getting rid of that. I would like to vacation with my family. I love to vacation. I love to go on trips and experience new things, and I have not done it with my immediate family in a really long time. And I think it would be really fun to make some new memories.
Yeah.
I put a cow in Switzerland, like one of the long hairy cows.
Yep.
I really just want to touch a long hairy cow in Switzerland, so that's a travel related goal.
Those like fluffy ones, like a Highland cow. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Okay. I want one. Let's see. I have a couple work related ones. I put like 5 signed contracts or something that I want. I don't know how to necessarily make this as a visual, but I've really been struggling since moving to try to find a sense of community, and not in the sense of like these are all of my best friends and I want to spend time with them all the time, but like this is my third place. For me, it was previously Power Life when we lived in Omaha. So I'm like, I want something like that. It doesn't have to be a gym. It could be a coffee shop. It could be the library. Like it could be somewhere. I just want something that isn't my house.
The third place.
I need that. I want to be outside more. I made it, honestly, like I didn't put it on my goal, but this year I walked Briggs like all the time and always was like, why do I feel so much better? So I put more outside time because that makes me happy. I have a savings and investment goal, which I haven't necessarily worked through. I want to do 2 5Ks with Girls on the Run. So they do a seasonal 5K in the spring and then one in the winter. And I'd like to do both. It's literally a 5K. I can do it. I just have to sign
You can do it.
Sun is shining. Sorry, 2 more. I want to volunteer more, which maybe that could be my third place. I would like to get out and just be around people and have like some sort of common fulfillment. Like I feel like my time is very valuable to me, and sometimes I don't always spend it in ways that are the most fulfilling for other people. And then last one, I was talking with a friend, Lindsay, shout out, and she was talking about how her and her husband live by this like phrase, ABC, always be celebrating. And I just loved it because I think that we always celebrate, not always, we celebrate the really, really big things in life, but it doesn't always have to be the big monumental moments to celebrate. So I would like to incorporate a little bit more celebration into my life. So ABC.
That's sweet. I like that.
I liked it too. And it's just catchy. And then long term, again, I put electric car. I'm just really on this kick of getting an electric car. I would love to do a college campus speaking event with the podcast. So kind of similar to yours. And let's see. Oh, I put angel investing. I would love to be able to like support a small business. I don't necessarily know what that looks like, but that's one. And then last one is, which this is just honestly very comical. I put 4-hour work week, which if you've read the book, it's very interesting. I don't know that I could ever get a place there because you wouldn't want to see me if I was only working 4 hours a week. I think I would be so crazy. But for me, it's more of just like striking a balance and being more resourceful with my time, if you will. So those are all mine.
Oh, I love those. I now kind of feel like an ass that I don't have volunteering on mine. Kind of made me feel bad a little bit.
Oh, shame is your name. No, literally, no, you do not. I think that's the thing. It's like there's so many things that you can add to it. And then I had this problem when I was making the vision board last time. I was like, oh, but that's such a good one. I want to add that to mine. And then you're like, well, why do I have 20 things? I can't do it.
Right.
All. Yeah. So
no, totally. Well, let's look at some. Sorry. Those are fabulous goals. I'm a little jealous of the volunteering one. I think I might need to maybe double tap on that one. Ooh, double click. There was this person at my previous company that would say, let's double click on that in at least 4 times in every meeting. And it drove me nuts. And I can't believe like those select? Words. Like it's like, let's take another look at that. Or like, let's dive a little bit deeper. And I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. Because
I was going to say, they couldn't just say, that. Let's look into it.
No.
Yeah. What's it like to make our lives harder? Okay.
Okay. I found the very first like goal setting strategy I found was through TikTok, of course. There is a creator named Catherine Lyon, Catherine with a C. And she was talking about how she plans out her entire year. And saying that out loud sounds super daunting. But the way that she explained it, I thought was like, again, like we were talking earlier, like just little bite-sized things that you can stick to and feel like you're accomplishing something. So like how she did it is she scales her goals from January all the way through December. So like one of her goals, I'll do a couple, but one of her examples was like, if you want to be working out 6 days a week. That sounds like if you are currently not doing any sort of exercise, or maybe you have, you want to, and you just haven't put the time into that, like saying that goal is super overwhelming. So how she explained it was that what she would do is get a calendar, and in each of the months she would scale her goal out. So if you want to be working out 6 days a week, by the end of December, you're comfortable with the 6 days a week, you've got a good routine, good schedule, etc. But maybe in January, you just start out with finding something 1 day a week and like prioritizing going on more walks. Then in February, you're finding a more specific routine. Maybe you're working out 1 to 2 times per week, and then so on and so forth for the rest of the year, so that it's attainable. You still feel like you're accomplishing something, and you can see a path to be able to grow your goal by the end of the year. I think it's such a like simple and easy way to think of a goal in that way. But I really just liked that scalability of like, this seems so overwhelming and not like anything that you can accomplish. But if you just break it down into, again, smaller chunks, 12 months out of the year, that's a really nice way to be able to say, in January, I accomplished my working out 1 day a week. In February, I increased it a little bit more. And I just really liked that approach, because I think like one of my goals last year was, I forget how many books I put, but I wanted to read, I don't know, 20, 30 books or something. And I was not reading at all. And I was like, oh my God, that means I have to read like, I don't even know what the math is, but I have to read like 5 books a month or something. And I was like, I can't, no, that's too many. 3 books a month. And I was like, I can't even imagine reading 1 book a month. So, just slowly scaling those out is a really nice, manageable, attainable way to see, I can do this. If it's by the end of the year, if it's by 6 months, I mean, you can kind of splice it out however it makes sense for you. But I really think it was just a nice visual representation of a way that you can make a goal seem very overwhelming to like bite-sized and attainable. So I really, really liked that.
And that's too because, well, I was also thinking like a lot of times, how like January always just feels it's like the start of the school year. There's like a lot of anticipation for you to all of a sudden become this like new thing and to like try on all these new things. But maybe with that method, it's like, oh, actually I'm easing into it in January. I'm not going full force. I'm not going to overdo it. So then that way in February, I still have the energy and I'm still excited by it. And it's not just this like thing that I forced myself into.
Exactly. Yeah. Easing into it. Exactly.
There's also 2 SMART goals. So specific,
goals.
Measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound.
I couldn't remember the R. Good job.
I was afraid that I was going to mess it up.
Did you study it earlier on your walk with Briggs?
I should have. I should have been like really brushing up on my knowledge.
That was great. That was great.
Thank you. SMART goals, typically how you're taught to break down goals in like, that's at least schooling for me. That's what taught that for me. You hear about it in like the corporate world if you work in strategy or implementation. I mean, I just think that, oh my God, Ellen, you had it literally written in the show notes.
I haven't scrolled down that far.
Oh,
I did have it written down.
I swear I remembered those. It wasn't just because I read the show notes. I swear.
It's okay. It won't make any difference. It sounded beautiful. It rolled off the tongue. It was great.
Thank you. So maybe I think when it comes to goals, if you're a visual person, make the damn board. If you like writing your thoughts out and that's how you like flesh out what's going on in your mind, I think SMART goals are great. Maybe you say, you know, we'll just go with the workout 6 days a week. You know, like I want to work out 6 days a week. Okay, specific. I want to work out 6 days a week. That's literally as specific as it gets. Measurable, like how 6 days a week. Okay, that feels. I'm breaking this down and like that's literally just so easy. But all that to say,
it can be that easy.
It can be that easy. You know, SMART, and then you just literally write a little sentence about it, and maybe you start with one goal, and if that feels comfortable, great, and then you can do more, and then that way there's like meat and potatoes to what you're doing. It's not just like a line in your head. There's significance to it.
Yeah, and you're like mindfully writing it out so that it's like an accountability thing as well. Of like, okay, I want to do this. All right, let's measure it out. Let's map out what it actually looks like. But then how will you hold yourself accountable to do it? And you literally write it out in your little SMART goal. And it sounds kind of lame, but I feel like it could be really useful. And maybe if you're comfortable like using it in a work setting, like why not try it? Like try and apply it to some sort of personal goal, you know? Why not?
I agree. And then the last one, Ellen, you found this and we'll include it in the show notes. It's a Harvard Business Review article and it is a lengthy gal. You can listen to it, which is great. That's a great feature. So Ellen, talk us through that one.
Yeah, that is. I skimmed through it, read the meat and potatoes part, but I want to well, how many minutes did you say it was to listen to it?
38 minutes. That is a podcast length.
Literally. That's
lots of scrolling.
That's good. Damn, that's long. But the article is extremely interesting. I might read my notes a little bit because it's been a second that I've looked at this, but it shows you how to take the same mindset that like corporate strategy would use to your own personal goals. So they go through 7 questions that are like specific to an organization. And like, if you as a company are planning for 2024, what are the couple of questions you would ask yourself in order to map out your year? They kind of mirror those questions from an organizational view to an individual like person level. And then they take the specific questions and kind of show you how you can turn those questions into goals. So they map out this little matrix that shows the importance to you and then your satisfaction level. And then you can map out essentially like what are the things that are most important to you, like mental health, hobbies and passions. What else did I put? Family, physical health, spirituality and faith, job and career. And it kind of puts things into categories or buckets for you and then maps them out. So it can show you like what's important to you and then out of that, how can you create goals from it and then increase, like make progress on your goals. And it has at the very bottom, it has this little worksheet and it's only a page. It's like not a whole thing and crazy thing you have to spend time with, but I wanted to do that. And it essentially asks you questions on like what's most important to you. And then out of those, where do you want to make improvements? Where do you want to make progress of some kind? And then you can go through and kind of, maybe if this is your year of health, or if this is your year of focusing on yourself and your family, or this is your year of financial growth, you can focus really more specifically on those things and create goals out of them. It's just I've never seen this approach to creating goals, like personal goals for 2024. And I thought it would just be an interesting, unique, different way to think about what you want to focus on, maybe short term or long term. So I'm going to give it a whirl and let you guys know how I like it. But I thought it just would be maybe something that people would find interesting, or just a different way to approach kind of what's important to you. Or if you're not really sure, things that are like make you happy or spark joy, you can kind of take a minute to consciously think through those things, you know?
Yeah. And when you read when you saw the word, oh my God, when you read worksheet, in my head, I was like, it's like homework. But it's also one of those things where it's like, I think we collectively speaking for all of us, spend so much time, 8 hours a day to be exact, focus on bettering someone else, bettering someone's business, bettering somebody's pocketbook. And like, why is it so difficult for us to take 5 to 10 minutes a day to focus on ourselves and think about things that make us happy and think about things that can make us better? Like, why does that feel like such a chore? You know?
I know. Like, spend a couple of minutes, do something for yourself, spend some time for yourself, and just go through, I don't know, like your categories, like things that make you happy, and focus on how you can make yourself happier and more fulfilled in the next year. It's so crazy saying 2024, isn't it?
I know.
So weird.
Ew. I think another thing that's really helpful that you and I both talked about when we made our goals previously, like you said, you went to the beach. I think I went to a coffee shop initially. Like get into a space that
Ooh, that's good advice.
Gives you creative juices, or not even creative juices, but just like makes you feel different a little bit. Like, you know,
like find an intentional place where you're like, I'm going to spend X amount of time in this space that's different and unique, and I'm going to take time for myself. Yeah, that's good advice. I like that. Yay.
Another little like side note, if you've listened, Georgia, Goodness with G, was on our podcast, and she recently came out with her Goodness Guide, which is available on Amazon. And it is a workbook where she guides you through all of the conversations about goal setting, sticking to your goals, and really just focusing in on yourself. So we'll include that in the show notes as well. So check it out. It's a good one. She's been working on it, and it's just beautiful. So
yeah, I was going to say it's super aesthetic too. So it's like, it's more like exciting writing in it and like spending time with it because it's so cute. Yeah.
And then get a cute pen.
Yeah. Like fun little highlighters, like have a little craft day.
I love it. Well, goal setting is make it fun. It's uncomfortable and like you might feel silly, but at the end of the day, you're doing it for yourself, and like, don't feel silly about doing things for yourself. You'll be doing doing yourself a disservice if you didn't take the time. And I think it's important to note, this doesn't always have to happen at the end of the year or the start of the year. If you're just like, I just want to get through January, great, come back to you in February. If it doesn't work in February, come back to it in March. But like, try to set some responsibility and try to goal set. So we also should probably goal set for the podcast, but
that would be fun. But that would be fun. Well, thank you everybody for spending some of your Christmas day or holiday season with us. We hope you enjoyed some different strategies for setting goals for the year. So hold your friends accountable. If they need some help with getting back into the gym or really focusing on, I don't know, work and getting a new promotion or something, help a friend out. Be supportive and show up for your people. So, again, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll be back next week with an interview. Have a great holiday. Bye, everybody.
See ya.